Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, August 25th, and I think I have Canvas all figured out and where we need to be at this point in the semester. I'm going to go over pretty much everything we have on Canvas. This is going to be a lengthy video. You're not going to be tested on it, but I need to show you, or I want to show you everything that's accessible to you on Canvas, where you should be in the class, what have you. So we're at the home page right here. And if you're watching this video, that means if you click on start here, that's exactly this video. So you're probably not going to need to click on this because either you've clicked on it or you've accessed it via the announcement. So here I have course structure, and I'm not going to go over each one of these in great detail because I'm encouraging you or requiring you guys to read each and every one of these. So the course structure, how it's all laid out. Here is the syllabus. So the syllabus, fall 2021, shows the online textbook. It's just a link that's completely free. I encourage you guys to read the sections as outlined in each study guide. Student learning outcomes, academic honor code, please read all that. Look at the grading scheme. That's what I abide by at the end of the semester. So if someone gets an 89%, they are not getting an A. And that's just kind of the way life is. Talks about the exams, the 6 quizzes. So here are the quiz dates. So for example, our first quiz is going to be due this Sunday, August 29th. I am going to give all of you 2 attempts at this quiz because you've never taken any of my quizzes or exams before. You will get 2 chances to get the full 10 points. You may not necessarily have the exact same questions because I'll have a bank of questions that the quiz pulls from. But you'll get 2 opportunities to take it, and I will post that sometime tomorrow. But those are your quiz dates throughout the semester. There are 6 quizzes. Here's the breakdown of points, lecture topics, and these are the exam dates. So the first exam is September 19th. We go back to the home page. Supplemental instruction is very, very useful to many students. We have someone named Alicia Zeber, who is our SI leader. Alicia did very well in my class and other classes. When Alicia gets an opportunity, they will put their information on this icon right here. Those who go to supplemental instruction tend to do better than those that do not. So please take that into serious consideration. We are 100% online on this class, but there are still learning resources for you. One is the Hub, the other is the STEM Center, and the third right here is the ILC. So I have links to all of those. Just click on those icons. The Accessibility Support Center, please take a look at that if that applies to you. If you're challenged with food and shelter, and unfortunately that applies to people in this county and probably students at Cabrillo College. So please contact the individual on this link if that's a challenge for you. Once again, Alicia Zeber is our SI leader. You can find my contact information right here. Office hours right here. Drew is going to be our anatomy lab teaching assistant. And Drew has done this for a number of semesters. He's also obviously taken the class and done very well on it. So you can meet with Drew at specified times to get assistance with learning the lab material. Certainly you can come to my office hours to get assistance with lab material. And I encourage all of you to come to office hours. Cafe of Knowledge is going to be a way for us to kind of initiate or develop discussion amongst all of you. And I'll get that going probably next week. Any problems with Canvas, click on this link, tech supports. And here's some important dates right here for Cabrillo College. For example, like the last day to add and get a W, refunds, holidays, what have you. So please take a look at that. Now I'm going to click on modules, which really is something, one, you've already had access to from day one, but is probably your single most important aspect of this class. This is where you're going to find all the material, the lecture material and the lab material. And Alicia will also upload documents to this module right here pertaining to supplemental instruction. So exam 1 material, which I've outlined before, and I'm going to do it again. This is everything you're accountable for exam 1. There are no homework assignments. You are not turning anything in. These are your lectures with related study guides. So for example, if we click on cellular components, we see one video right here and a wide breadth of terminology just going with that one video. And then questions for discussion. You are not turning these questions in. These are just aimed at facilitating or encouraging you guys to think about what you learned in those videos. And here is the reading for that particular video. Go back to modules. Once again, this applies to all sorts of things. If we click on, say, bone down in week 4, we see these 3 videos right here. And then a bunch of terminology pertaining to those videos. So I'm going to say this again. You do not need to wait to week 2 to look at these videos. And as a matter of fact, if I were you, I would not do that. Get going on this. Get ahead. Do not wait to week 4 to get to these lectures, because I just showed you there's 3 lectures just within this bone document. If it were me, I would have all these videos done by the beginning of week 4, so you can use week 4 as nothing but review, coming to my office hours and asking questions. Office hours, again, are Monday through Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m., and Fridays, 8 to 9 a.m. I had 3 people at office hours last night. Going back to modules, this is always also where you find the information pertaining to lab. So the first practical, and the practical is just an exam in lab. The material in lab is separate and distinct from that of lecture. It certainly has a lot of overlap, but what I talk about in lecture is not going to be in the lab practical exams, and what I talk about in lab are not going to be in the lecture exams. So our first lab practical exam is on bones. Watch this video right here, Anatomy Lab Introduction. That should get you going on everything. At this point, which is Wednesday, I hope you're well through a good portion of these skull videos and have learned the skull. I'm not suggesting just watch the videos. Be able to look at a picture of a skull and identify all the structures that I've outlined. For example, here is a video on the sphenoid bone. You're going to watch that video, and we can see right here, for example, here's a term known as the sella turcica. How do we know that's something we need to know for the sphenoid bone? Well, we go back here, and I'm hoping you've looked at these objectives prior to that, but we go to human skull objectives, cranium, and we get to the sphenoid bone right here. So you need to be able to identify the sphenoid bone, but you also need to identify all these structures specific to the sphenoid bone. And as we can see right here, sella turcica is one of those structures. So I will highlight all of these structures in all of those videos. And most of these videos for the skull have 2 different videos for them. So there's a number of different videos where you can learn the exact same thing. Find 10 bulleted structures under the sphenoid alone. You need to know those. Anything bulleted, you need to know, and anything in bold, you need to know. Our lab practicals are purely based upon any terms in bold and any terms that are bulleted. The last thing I want to say about the skull is the foramen of the skull. There are a number of foramen of the skull. I have a video specific to the foramen of the skull, and we can see that video right here, foramen of the skull. They are arguably the most challenging group of structures, foramen, holes, whatever you want to call them, the most challenging group of bulleted points that you are going to learn all semester long. Part of that is because we're just getting going on this and we're trying to develop good study habits, and how we really learn all these intricate details of bones and of the skeleton. So please get going on that. And that's about it. I think that covers everything. Please come to office hours. I beg you to come to office hours. I also beg you to quit your jobs. And jobs are overrated, you guys. Okay, that's it. We'll talk again.